European companies are expressing alarm over the record high prices of both the euro and oil. Businesses are asking EU governments to make a stand and get the ECB to cut rates. Ernest-Antoine Seillière, president of Business Europe, which groups member states' industrial federations and represents 20 million European companies, spoke to EuroNews on the global financial crisis, the euro's export-denting strength, the real risk for the EU's economy, and Europe's enviable but costly social umbrella. The financial crisis risks becoming a global economic crisis. So it seems that ends the debate about inflation, spending power, poverty and business problems. Aren't governments eventually going to have to step into the breach and save the banking and financial sectors?
As you know, the situation is very uncertain. It's that very uncertitude that's causing the problem. The financial sector detests not knowing how big a crisis is or how long it will last. They're uncomfortable, and that plays on their behavior. It's obvious that governments are becoming more and more concerned. So, if the crisis deepens, it's inevitably a government matter, and I should say, one needing international cooperation.
Ça deviendra une affaire de gouvernement et je dirais surtout une affaire de concertation internationale.
But are Europe's businesses financially healthy?
Les entreprises européennes sont compétitives.
They're very competitive. No one should doubt that. If they weren't, they'd be bankrupt or even taken over. So, the European production system is competitive.
Il est compétitif.
However, if we don't ride out the banking crisis and the current problems and uncertainties persist, that will inevitably lead to a credit crunch. And as we all know, available credit is companies' oxygen.
La distribution de crédit, c'est l'oxygène des entreprises.
Looking at the monetary crisis, the euro's now close to $1.60 and oil's been stuck at $100 a barrel a while now. How will this affect European companies?
La hausse de l'euro, la hausse incontrôlée de l'euro qui...
An uncontrollable rise in the euro is not an advantage for us because exports are hit in sensitive areas like aerospace, industrial goods or luxuries.
Sensibles, comme l'aéronautique dans le domaine industriel ou les produits de luxe.
But let's give the whole picture.
La hausse du pétrole
the rising oil price that fuels inflation and makes the economic climate difficult is in part cushioned by the high euro. We'd pay 40% more for our oil if it wasn't for the healthy euro-dollar differential.
Notre pétrole, et Dieu sait que nous en importons, si nous n'avions pas le différentiel entre l'euro et le dollar.
Some big European companies and groups have already said they could be relocating because of the high euro. Do you see this as really the only possible answer?
Depuis 5 ans, en pleine mondialisation, alors que le...
After 5 years of full-blooded globalization, with relocation a constant theme, we've been able to create 9 million jobs in Europe. So we warn against any exaggeration, even if that's what happens in politics, where opinions are stirred by relocation scares. Some relocation is needed to ensure European competitivity, including some offshore production for cost reasons, but this relocation underpins entire sectors of Europe's economy, so we should be applauding the power and growth of emerging economies for what they earn for us.
European workers are increasingly demanding to have a slice of a company's profits. And at the same time, employers are complaining about inflexible social security systems. What's the real contradiction between social and industrial Europe?
We are very proud of Europe's social model, which can be summed up simply as, in times of growth, some of the profits pay for social security. The Nordic countries showed us the way forward here, and it's their flexi-security that's our model. Not a pretty word, I agree, but it works. We don't protect jobs, we protect the workers so they can find new jobs quickly, and if possible with training, better paid ones.
Do you think that for this to happen, Europe should abandon budgetary restraint to create jobs and boost growth?
Well, companies themselves on this question are saying loud and clear success won't come by increasing public debt. That achieves nothing. So companies are united in demanding continued budgetary discipline. We must stop looking for the easy way out instead of facing the fact there are better things to do.
You've directed France's Industrial and Business Confederation that today is in the eye of a moral and political storm. Should employers buy off the unions in exchange for peace?
Absolutely not. The revelation that a Confederation member was engaged in such archaic practices is to be condemned, and came as a shock for French bosses and the public.
A été un choc pour le patronat en France et pour l'opinion française.
But the reaction from the Confederation and other employers' bodies has been healthy and rapid, and a modern and transparent monitoring system is being set up.
Parfaitement saine, rapide, et qui met en place.
So we've put that behind us.
Transparent et moderne. Donc disons que la chose est derrière nous.
We've taken a number of strong leads to dissolve this, and for me, who was more or less behind the creation of the French Employers' Confederation, it's been very satisfying to see how it's coped, and I'm sure it will emerge stronger from the crisis.
Raison de penser que cette institution sortira plus solide de la crise.
Thank you.